Okay, and we're live on the.
Hell yeah, buddy. Looks like we're doing episode 1.5.
Yeah,
How
so
do you feel about that?
we're gonna be without the big D. I mean,
I feel like we're already past that.
we're down a
point
man. Yeah, we've been without it our whole lives. Without that, our whole lives. But we are down a man. D wasn't able to make it today. In fact, he may not be able to make it to next week.
He's not going to be able to make it to this Thursday.
Sorry. I'm
Okay.
speaking like as if the podcast. Yeah, one way or another, we're gonna be down a man for this one.
Yeah.
And then D may not be able to be on the next actual full podcast. He has some stuff going on, work related, actually school related. He's trying to become. Is he a nurse?
Nurse. They already know his name. Like, you know how many times you fucked off his name?
We're calling him D, man. It's out of respect at this point, dog. And I'm better at it now.
All right.
I think.
Well, I was gonna say. I mean, the names for me are just so ridiculous. Like it. I understand the whole, hide your identity or whatever.
Look, there's gonna be people that definitely know who we are. Each one of us know who we are. The idea is just down the road, like 5 years, whenever,
Yeah, sure.
I'm about to be up for that big promotion where I finally hit 5 figures in income. What is that, like $10,000 a year?
If that ever happens. Oh, 5 figures. Gotcha.
And they're like, "Oh wait, what was this you said on that podcast about Mormons?"
Too much credit.
Hey, so that's actually one thing we're going to do to start off the podcast. So this is a 1.5. Part of the purpose of this is to kind of do some service to redactions
that you need to do. I don't have any redactions. Everything I've said, I'm happy with.
I don't know.
So
I don't think you should be happy with everything you said. I mean,
of course, people say stupid shit. Whatever. Forgive and forget.
Yeah.
Move on. Fuck off.
I was thinking about it just today, actually, about the name of the podcast. I think it'd be a lot better. And I'm cool. We're not going to change the name, but if we would have named it like just 3 stupid guys or something like 3 dumb guys.
The thing
talking,
is like Dion.
then we'd have a lot less.
Or D, whatever. I just think I don't know if he's going to be in every episode. Like, already he's not going to be in the next one. And I love the guy to death. Of course I want to see him on as many times as possible, but I think
he has a busy schedule and he's doing more than we. I mean, it's to his credit that he doesn't have as much time as we do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, agreed.
So hopefully he's on more often than not. But if he can't make it, we understand. We support him. We're gonna have other folks join in for this next podcast.
We have 2 very. I think it's gonna be 2 fun guests.
Yeah, we actually have a minor celebrity in the greater Cibolo Shirts area.
Minor celebrity.
I just give away our location.
Not really. It'll be okay. You can tell people that like we're around Cibolo Shirts. I mean,
we don't.
You know how many people live in Cibolo Shirts area? It's
probably like 120,000. I'd say 120,000 if you combine them both.
Well, there's only like 1 million people in San Antonio, like 1.3 mil.
Yeah, but I'm just counting. Right? If I combine Cibolo and
maybe.
Regardless,
I think the even if that nobody would find out who. That just seems like unnecessary research,
Yeah, I hope you're not taking a lot of time trying to research our identities if you don't already know them.
Stupid.
It seems like a waste of time. We're not worth that kind of time at this point.
It's not worth you're not gonna get much if you do find shit.
You're gonna get me fired from my McDonald's job, like.
Yeah.
One way or another, though, redactions. So first and foremost, I do want to apologize to the Church of the Latter-day Saints. I made an offhanded.
The Mormon.
We talked.
Bible.
Yeah. If you did listen to the previous pod, I don't know why you'd be listening to this one if you didn't listen to the previous one. But let's just say that you didn't. I made a comment about the Book of Mormon and its status as a religious scripture, we'll call it. I guess the caliber of it, and I implied that it wasn't I didn't favor it. And I just want to say, I feel like Mormons get the brunt of. I've heard other people talk about this before, but they are just the punching bag. They're the lowest hanging fruit of any organized religion to take shots at. And
yeah,
I honestly, it's not like I don't
think the
feel
Semitism that. I think there's more Semitism than there is to Mormons. I think like the Jewish people have had it pretty rough compared to fucking Mormons. Mormons just aren't they bothersome that go and knock on your door and
I think that's why they get the most shit, honestly, because you don't have any you don't have any Jews knocking on your door asking if you've heard about Yahweh. Because that's the thing about Jewish people. I'm going into dicey territory, but they aren't really evangelizing. It's like either you were either born Jewish and you want to continue practicing that tradition. There's not that many people that later in life become that espouse that religion later in life. So, but with the Mormons,
do you think the Bible the New Testament messed it up for them?
For the Jewish people?
Yeah. You think like with how big the New Testament?
If Jews would have been a bigger thing, or Judaism. Sorry, we're using slang here. Judaism would have been a bigger thing if it wasn't for Christianity.
Yeah, essentially, yeah.
Judaism would have been a bigger thing if it wasn't for World War II, Nazi Germany, because there'd
got a lot of population there.
Yeah, it took out a lot of the population. It's not funny. I don't know why we're laughing.
It's awful. It's an awful incident. It was not even an incident. I mean, just the whole.
It's probably the most. If you take the known history of the Earth, planet Earth, the known history of the universe, because we don't know anything outside of Earth, is probably the most evil act that has ever been.
Oh yeah,
inflicted on people.
I always watch, the Netflix documentaries of. Fucking World War II or whatever.
Oh, World War II.
I think it's such an interesting part of history, for sure. I think it's my favorite part of history, even though it was an awful thing that happened. But the fact that it was so awful is such a mesmerizing, like.
How did so many people stand idly by?
Yeah.
In Germany, I mean, there was sort of the. And I'm going to steal a phrase from U.S. history, but there was sort of an underground railroad for Jews. So there were some Germans that were sympathetic to Jewish people. And of course, there was plenty of German Jewish people. But people that were Aryan or whatever that were sympathetic to Jews that took them in and tried to hide them a lot of times to the point to where they were actually killed as well for trying to do the right thing, which is just horrible.
Yeah. It wasn't just Jews. It was the communists. Like if you were communist, they were killing you too.
Mentally handicapped people.
Yeah,
I think
there's a lot of different people that.
Yeah, there were different groups that were exterminated, or at least they tried to exterminate. But so the first redaction.
Redacting. We're redacting.
It's not really a redaction. It's just a confessional. It's just that I'm sorry to the Mormons. I don't have any like current people that I know that are practicing Mormons that I can say are my friends. I'm not going to use the I have a Mormon friend card, but I have known Mormons in the past, and they're really there's some bad people and there's some really great people in any religion. Yeah. And you can believe whatever you want to believe. So
I just realized I whipped out my vape and hit it on the camera. I didn't do that last episode. But
yeah, that's not a good example, especially
I think I should
12 and under demographic.
We have a 12 and under demographic with the language that I've already, it's not going to look good. I don't think 12-year-olds should look up to me.
Well, once you're 13 and up, it's pretty much that's vaping. That's vape season.
Vaping is
that's Juul season. 13 and up.
Culture. So I want to explain this because when I was 17 or 18, I worked for a company called Freightliner, and they're a great company. Whatever, they're a trucking company.
Wait, you said when you were 17?
Yeah.
Okay.
A senior in high school, and but the coworkers there were just they all smoked, And so they smoke cigarettes. And so I got hooked on cigarettes. And, I could have easily said, no, of course. But
so much easier to conform when you're 17 years old and trying to make friends.
Maybe that. But I think another thing is, I was working in a hot fucking warehouse and, I'm tired as shit. And they're like, you want to feel better? And you're like, yeah, I want to fucking feel better. It's awful in here. What the fuck?
Oh, it locked.
Oh.
I think we're still rolling.
Hopefully we're still rolling. Unlock that shit. Let's double check and make sure. I didn't. That sounded awful. I hope that didn't record.
Saved. Oh my god. Are we still rolling?
Yeah, we're still rolling.
Okay, great. You want to check the camera? We're using a new camera.
Yeah. Let me check the camera.
Yeah, let's make sure that's still going.
Stay in the shot.
Yeah. So we were talking about. So I think that's a common thing with kids that get a job when they're 18 years old, especially blue collar jobs. Man, I mean, there's so much stuff going on with drinking, smoking, and you're just now getting your freedom too at the same time when you turn 18. That you get that first kind of real blue collar job. And not to say that, I've been around a lot of that. It doesn't even have to be blue collar. It's more just like once you finally have a job where you're around a lot of adults and you're not just mowing lawns for your neighbors. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of people smoking cigarettes and did you think it was a cool thing to do? Yeah. Okay. This is an interesting topic. There's like two schools of thought when you're like hitting around of age. Either you've been, and I don't want to say you're brainwashed, but you've been influenced enough by the like anti-tobacco campaigns and just your whatever your family dynamic was.
The nuclear family outlook on smoking in general, whatever it may be.
So yeah, you're either a rebel and you're like, I'm going to get on that as soon as possible, or you're somebody that's like, yeah, actually statistically, it's probably not a great idea for me to do this if I'm looking forward and as far as keeping my health. And even just your state of mind once you become dependent on tobacco or nicotine specifically.
I think I was in the state of, I'll just do it this one time just to get a quick buzz, because I feel like shit in this 100-degree weather. And I got it, and I was like, all right, it's only one time, And then you keep saying that and saying that. It's only one time, and then you get fucking hooked. And
that's literally with like any addiction.
A pack a day. Jesus.
Pack a day.
Yeah, I was on a pack a day. It was bad. It was not good. And then 2 years ago, I went into a vape shop it was longer than 2 years ago.
I think you're being a little generous with yourself there.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
Probably been about 4 years. You're 23.
I think 2 years ago, I ended all buying any cigarettes.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. You were smoking cigarettes for a little bit longer.
Yeah, and then I ended it all, and I just stuck to vaping. And I can drop, because I do like 6 milligram right now, but I can drop it to 3 and then cut off a bit. I've just been a piece of shit about not doing it, really, to be quite honest.
Well, I mean, it's a quality of life decision. I mean, like, do you think you're gonna be happier smoke? Some people are just like, look, if I lose 5 or 10 years off my life, but I get to smoke, like, it's worth it to me. I mean,
I don't know.
That's an individual decision you can make. I mean,
I don't look at it that way. I just look at it as like, I'm happy right now. It's like a living in the moment.
Hopefully they cure lung cancer by the time I'm 60.
Yeah, I have thought about that.
Dude, that's
do you
always
think by the time we're 50 or 60, they're like, hey, you have an option to download your whole consciousness onto this website. You can just live forever. You want to do that?
Yeah, would you actually do that?
I think I would. Terrible as it sounds, I think I would.
What if God is like, yeah, so you would have been going to heaven, but because you did that bullshit, I'm not crossing your name out,
you wouldn't even know
dog.
if there's a God or not. I mean, you'd be alive.
Yeah, I know, but let's just say
consciously living forever, so... What do you think? Like,
and then the server explodes because
let's not
North
talk
Korea
about,
finally gets its nukes.
Let's take the nukes and the server exploding out of the question. Let's just talk about it's been 400 years after you uploaded or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Right? And you get to a point Or do you think you'd ever get to a point where you're like, man, I just want to fucking go already? Like the Wolverine thing. It's like, I just fucking end me at this point, you know? Like, it's never ending, so just delete my ass or
pull
something.
the plug.
You know? Like, pull the unphysical or the
metaphysical
plug.
I don't know,
or
the
whatever.
figurative.
Yeah.
I don't know what we're trying to say. I don't know what you're trying to say. But yeah, you just cut the cord. Turn me off, basically.
Yeah, turn me off. Like, shut me the fuck down. Save room for some other fucker that wants to get in, you know? But by that point, if we're uploading conscious, don't you think the population would just go down? It would just decrease consistently?
No, I think it would well, since nobody's dying. Like, look, okay, once you're 100 years old is when you upload your conscience, right? Or you're 70. When you're about to die, you're like,
whenever
okay,
you're
yeah,
16
let's do it now.
And you're playing video games, you're like, I can play endless video games if I upload my conscious.
Who is going to be the one sustaining the, like, isn't your...
I don't know.
Doesn't your brain have to stay around, or no? I guess not. I don't understand the whole uploading the conscious
I think
thing.
our consciousness
at that point,
is not understood
What
yet.
sucks is that even after you upload the first person's conscience, you will not know whether or not the thing that you're talking to that says, "Yeah, dude, it worked. I'm here. I'm on the cloud. How are you guys doing? This is awesome." You don't know if that's really like if that's really me. That's like there wasn't a lapse.
Did you see
whenever you were uploaded and that's actually your conscience, or if it's just like an AI version of your conscience?
Did you see Ready Player One?
Yeah, it's on.
Maybe it's something like that. It's like where you get to choose your own.
Well, that's
character.
That's like just an enhanced VR.
Yeah, but imagine that as uploading
or I guess,
your conscious.
Was that augmented reality?
Something, I don't know.
I think it's a combination of both.
Yeah.
Dude,
is there anything else you want to...
Yeah, we got way off. Redactions. I had a few. Oh, no, you know what? I wanted to challenge you on something, and it's a really, really minute point, but and I didn't look at this, I promise. I wanted to look at it together first.
Okay.
You and D both were talking shit about my pronunciation of a word.
Yes, because you were
what
saying...
word? Do you remember?
It was controversial is what you said. Controversial.
And you said it's controversial.
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 I mean, that's just how I hear people say it all the time.
No, that's exactly what... I didn't want to make a big point of it on the show, but now that we're doing the half episode where I think we can talk about whatever we want, I feel like I'm pretty sure controversial is the actual phonetic pronunciation of it. So I want to look it up.
I don't know.
Why don't we have
see what's going on?
Merriam-Webster, our girl Merriam.
The hot. I don't know if she's hot or not.
We need to look up a picture of her or something. Oh.
Actually, while you're on that, look up, see if Merriam-Webster is a chick or not.
That's actually worth looking into.
Yeah.
Now I just have to. Okay, so we're gonna have this pronounced. I'm sure people online already think they know the answer, one way or another. So, see if this works.
Controversial.
Yeah, there you go. Let's go.
So just to defend my logic, the spelling.
Yeah, you see the IAL at the end.
SIAL.
Yes, and you want to put the I.
I want to. This is from the Oxford Dictionary.
Oh my gosh.
And I want to contest that. I want to send this to an appellate court. And we'll get back to that on the next episode. So we're gonna look up Merriam-Webster. See if it was a man or woman. See when she was alive,
and see if she was actually good looking.
Hey, you want to make? Do you think it's a girl?
Like,
you want to see if it's a guy or a girl, or do you want to guess if it's a guy or a girl?
I think it's a guy, truthfully. But if it's a girl, I mean, that'd be amazing.
I'm gonna say,
what time period was this? This had to be in the 1800s, right?
See, that's what I said on the episode. I don't know. It could be like 16 or 1700s for sure. I don't recall.
I don't know.
It's been a while. That was like 5th grade history. So Merriam-Webster. Now it's going to pop up the dictionary, of course. But let's just see if we can find the person. Okay.
What is a guy?
So first thing that's popping up, in 1831, George and Charles Merriam.
Oh, middle
founded.
names.
Yeah, it was a middle name.
Or what? No, was that last name? And then Webster is something else?
No, well, hold on, let me make sure.
There's George and Charles Merriam, and then like Webster is just a...
Oh, yeah, I think George Merriam's the last name.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay,
so what is Webster all about? Is that just like a play? Is that like a...
Noah Webster. After the death of Noah Webster, the lexicographer, the Merriams purchased the right of future publication of Webster's dictionary, which created that, I guess, that merging of Merriam-Webster. Okay, so little history for you folks. So that's I mean, I didn't see whether or not he was hot or not, but I mean, it's less relevant.
No, I don't. Like. It's a guy. I'm not.
Devin.
Fuck off.
Devin, God damn it, buddy. You care. I care.
If a guy is hot, you care if a guy's hot?
I mean...
You're the one wearing the funky fucking sweater right now. Although I am wearing...
My grandma knitted me this sweater.
All right, fine.
I thought we weren't going to bring it up.
All right. I'm sorry. We'll cut that out.
No, you won't. You son of a bitch. Cut it out. So much stuff you said in the last episode was going to be cut out. So
it just became such a hassle. So and I think we should bring this up about all the butt fuckery that was going on with why it would cut out, and I had to put just the title and the video or whatever. So what happened was
keep this to a brief 30 seconds if you can, because not everybody's going to hear this.
Yeah, so it was the video that we were recording with a GoPro Hero 7, and it would only take 6-minute clips, and I had to splice every 6-minute clip to the audio. It just took too long to edit out, to go in and do the extra 4 hours or fucking work of taking out names that we were accidentally saying and fucking all that. I don't know. It was stupid. It was ridiculous. All right. Well, what's our next?
Okay. Yeah. So, with that being said, there's another thing. That video, the first podcast dropped about probably 5 days after we recorded it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was about 5 days. So there were some things that we talked about specifically related to COVID that may have been a bit outdated. And we don't have to go into the COVID, but specifically we were talking about the
treacherous territory.
We don't have to go into the treacherous territory, but I talked about New Jersey and California being the highest. If you look at the per cases, the amount of deaths. Actually, I don't remember specifically what it was, but either way, they were the highest number. I don't know if when that actually released, if that was still true. I don't know if it was wrong. I just don't know if it was true.
I remember.
I'm trying to think of things that we talked about.
I said it in the podcast. I remember, like, whenever it was soon after. I guess it was like in May or something. Whenever New York just went fucking like it was all over the news, and they had the most like deaths and stuff. But you did make a good point. Like they might be all fucking dead. You know?
Well, you know, it went through the nursing homes or the what do they call them? Retirement homes, like
even in Texas,
like a wildfire.
Even down in here, it was. There was a nursing home in San Antonio that like had so many deaths.
Yeah,
recorded,
once one of them gets it, they all get it.
Yeah.
But
sad.
the thing about it is, in New York specifically, they had a bunch of the people that had contracted cases of COVID be sent back to the retirement homes prematurely before the 14-day period of contagiousness, like where you're contagious went away. So when they went back, it just, like I said, spread like wildfire, and a lot of deaths happened from that.
Sad.
So apparently, and let's not go too far much. Let's change the subject. But apparently, there's a lot of deaths that went unreported that were directly connected to retirement homes, because they didn't in New York. They didn't count deaths from nursing home or retirement homes. Is that the word, retirement homes? Am I twisting
retirement homes or
they didn't count them if they didn't happen in the retirement home, which is doesn't make any sense to me because they contracted them in the retirement home.
Well, there's a huge margin of error for COVID cases too.
because there's so many cases that you may not have died from COVID, but you happen to have had it when you died. You may, like there was certain states, like if you were in a car accident but you had COVID, you got reported as a COVID death. Okay, moving on. You seriously don't have a single thing you want to correct or elaborate on even?
No, I think everything that I said was what
spot
I meant to
on.
say.
Yeah,
I just meant to say. I don't take any of it back.
See, I say a lot of things,
and
I
can't even think. I don't even think like I can't even think of everything that I said. So yeah, maybe let me take that back. Maybe there is something that I didn't mean to say, but I mean, I can't even think of the things that I didn't mean to say. So it just
okay, yeah,
you know, like
sure.
whatever.
We probably should have prepared a little better for this, but kind of an impromptu thing. So, are you pulling up a question right now? We're gonna do like a last little section. We'll do a little bit of bonus content for all those fans out there.
All right, so
hey, by the way,
you might know the statistics on this because I was really curious about this today. I was having a conversation with a friend, and it's a terrible,
shit.
That's awful that
Same
happens.
thing.
We need to make sure that we're touching.
Here, go ahead and ask the question. You're good.
Okay. You might know the statistics because I don't know the statistics, but I was talking about this with a friend today, and are rape cases higher in women or men?
Oh my god.
I don't know because
so
I brought up
it's actually men.
Yeah, it's because of jail in prison, right? That's what I said. Yeah, men have a higher statistic for rape cases. But I do think, let me say this, I do think that some women don't come out and like, if they did get raped and they're too scared to come out. I think that is a thing. I don't think it might be as prominent or whatever. I don't know. Maybe it is.
Super
but
random.
It's super hard to, well, it was just a conversation I was having with a friend. And like,
were they taking the other side?
I told them, I was like, I need to put this on the podcast because it'd be good conversation.
Yeah.
Well, we were just thinking.
Well, I think that there's equally probably as many men that would not want to report that they got raped.
Yeah.
Maybe more. But that's not, I mean, so the thing about it is, I probably shouldn't say this. If you go to prison, though, like, and you're like a pedophile or something, like, I hope you get, like
yeah, no,
I don't hope you get. No, but I mean, like, it's like added punishment and maybe deserved.
Yeah.
There's certain things like if you're just in the general population and that happens to you, that's so much worse.
It's so much worse. You don't deserve that. Nobody.
It's horrible. That. Both situations. Probably are. Yeah.
I feel like I don't know. It just came up in conversation with a friend. I thought if anyone knows the statistics, you would know the statistics on it.
I know. Yeah, I know there's actually.
You know that it's higher in men's.
But it's because of the prison thing. And if you, I'm sure I don't know this, but if you went outside of prison,
let's say that's reported cases too. Mm-hmm. So, what are we looking at as far as cases that aren't reported? Because we have reported cases where and it's so much easier to report a rape case in prison.
Unreported cases are kind of
it's so in the air.
That's not really a good. There, you can look at like the CDC and they'll say like 1 in 5 rapes are reported and stuff like that. I think that's for women. I don't know if that's just for women or not, but it could be 1 in 20 or it could be 1 in 3 because you don't know who's being honest and who's not being honest. Whether somebody is looking at something retrospectively saying like,
that's another thing. All that Trump bullshit with well, I don't know that it's bullshit, but where these girls are saying, where these girls are coming back saying like he raped me in '73, or it's like,
oh man.
I look, if it actually happened, then it's awful. It's awful. But you could have said it at the time, or even in the 90s, you could have like brought that up.
But I think it's important.
It's kind of odd that he's the president and now it's getting said.
Well, the same thing happened with Bill Clinton whenever Hillary when Hillary was running. There was all these people coming out for Bill Clinton saying, "Hey, he raped me." So you don't know whether it's people looking to
make money or
to try to cut the legs out from under a political candidate. Whenever that sort of stuff happens, especially the president, because it's such a large target. It's such an impactful thing. People are like, "We will go to any measure that we need to stop this person from winning the seat. But man, I wanted to make another point about the topic. I can't remember what it was. You kind of got me off topic there.
I'm
with the
sorry.
Trump stuff.
We need to go one more question because I think we're getting close on time.
Well, I mean, we
got
have
a little bit
all
of time,
night, but I mean,
yeah, but this is a 1.5. Let's just make it around 30 minutes and, make it easy.
if we have quality
Let me check the
conversation,
camera and
we
make
don't
sure
have
it's
to cut it
still
off at 30
rolling, by
minutes.
the way.
Yeah, sure. Oh, yeah. So basically, we had like we said, this is a new camera that we're using, and apparently it films in 30-minute intervals. But Devin had the just freaking spiritual intuition to check the camera literally like 5 seconds after
we were talking. Yeah.
Did you see that it was at 30 minutes and you're like, hey, let's check? Or did you just kind of
Yeah,
feel
I mean, I just knew we were coming to a 30. Well, we
Okay.
wanted this to be about 30 minutes. And so we're about to wrap it up here anyways.
You wanted it to be 30 minutes. I don't care, bro.
I know.
With any podcast, I just feel like once we hit the point where it's like, well, this is getting really stale. But if I'm still enjoying talking, although I know that what I consider stale may be like we may have hit stale like 20 minutes. Or maybe the whole time.
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't think so.
I think there
it's
was
been
some
good.
interesting stuff that we were
think it's been
talking
good.
about. Yeah.
The rape stuff, I think we could keep to a minimum, but
It's just a conversation that I had, and I thought it would be interesting to
no, absolutely.
see what was going on here with your
I
thoughts.
think that is an interesting conversation where like it'd be because men don't even ever have to think about it. They don't even ever
Not
have
right now.
until they go to prison.
Well, yeah, and,
You know what
and
I
I
mean?
mean, in
For the
some
most
rare
part.
cases,
Yeah, there's rare
there's
cases.
rare cases.
There's rare
but,
cases.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's like the board flips because women, I don't want to say they're constantly thinking about it, but it's definitely much
something
more
that'll
on
go
the
in their head easier.
Yeah, more on
Like-
the forefront of their mind.
Yeah.
And then once men go to prison, it's like, hopefully your cellmate isn't, really,
Fucking you and railing you in the ass. Getting railed in the ass by your cellmate.
What does that say about like sexuality and it being malleable, dude? Because like all of a sudden, I'm sure a bunch of dudes that were straight on the outside world, like once they get to
prison,
and they're just
no holds
craving the
bars.
sex. Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
it's like anything goes.
You gotta get tired of your fucking right or left
Your
hand.
left
after
hand,
all.
probably left. Most people.
Most people. Are you saying most people that go to prison are left-handed?
Yeah, that's statistically proven. Did you not know that?
Are you? No, you're bullshitting me. You bullshitted me yesterday with a lot of fucking shit, and you're bullshitting me right now.
No,
you said it was an amendment, a constitutional amendment that you can mail anything you want, including feces.
I thought that it was obvious that I was joking, but I guess not.
I don't know.
So, Dev, you pull up one more question. I'm gonna pull up one question because
all right, well,
the
let's
last
try and
podcast,
make it quick.
Yeah, but fine. But what if people want to listen this far? They can. If they don't, they can turn it off, dude. Like, what, are you not enjoying
I know, but
this?
I am enjoying it. I just I mean, we're doing a 1.5.
Do you think it's intimidating for? Yeah, I know. I mean, the
I
last
thought
podcast
the ideal
was.
was just to make it a short, sweet little, redactions and maybe one or two questions.
Yeah. Oh, there was one thing I wanted to talk about, like, because
Is there
this
any
a
more
1.0.
redactions?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. But one thing I wanted to talk about, and while you're looking at the question, I'll go on and just fire this off. Why I said this, I know I at some point tried to ask this, but why are we even doing the podcast? Like, what? I guess more. What's your inspiration? Like, what? I know that you just like me.
Well,
you're really into podcasts.
Yeah, I love watching podcasts. I watch Joe Rogan and H3H3. I watch a few others. There's a San Antonio one up in Austin that does like metal bands.
Okay.
And they're pretty cool. I watch.
Do they actually have the bands on?
I can't remember what it's called. Yeah, they have band members come on and talk. But there's another podcast that I watch that I can't even remember what the name of it is. There's probably about 4 total that I watch. But
Okay.
But I mean,
And
when
do
you're
you
talking
ta-
about
do you
in
ta-
podcast terms, they're so long per episode, and so you can only keep up with so many, I guess.
Do you typically watch your podcast, or do you just listen to it? More often than not?
Sometimes I watch. More often than not, I think I listen. I just put it on in the car
definitely
or something.
Me too.
Yeah,
definitely me too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd say I'm like 80 or 90, 10, probably 90, 10 on listen versus watch. Definitely listen a lot more. So I have a pretty good variety of podcasts that I listen to, and we have definitely similar tastes with the Joe Rogan. I listen to almost every episode of that. By the way, I'm sure a lot of people that are listening to this, if they actually took the time to listen to this small little podcast, they probably have some familiarity with Joe Rogan. They must be fans of podcast. What's your favorite Joe Rogan guest that's ever been on? Or maybe even if you just want to say like a top 2 or 3.
I really like Elon Musk's. He's got to be up in the top 3. The Alex Jones returns, of course.
They're so good,
that's
man.
that one.
They're so off the wall.
But I do like the one of my favorite guests is Jordan Peterson. The talk with Joe Rogan and Jordan Peterson. That one, Jordan Peterson to me is a very, very. He's so wise. Oh my gosh, he just knows so much information, and he knows how to talk. Like he not only is intellectual, but he sounds intellectual when he's talking.
Yeah, he's a gifted orator.
Yeah.
So for me, Joe Rogan, favorite guest would be dude, Alex Jones is freaking hilarious. I don't listen or watch I've seen clips of InfoWars.
Yeah, but I don't watch that.
It's way out there.
Yeah,
but he is freaking entertaining. And
whenever Joe Rogan's talking to him, he's entertaining as shit. Like it's a comedy.
Dude, he has the
sketch.
longest. We've talked about. He has the longest Joe Rogan podcast I think that was ever made. He has over 1,000 episodes. Joe Rogan does, and Alex Jones was on there for near 5 hours.
Yeah,
on one of the most recent one.
That Alex Jones returns.
It was like 4 hours and 50 minutes or something.
Not gonna lie to you, kind of retarded.
Yeah, he said, I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm kind of retarded. Yeah. Which that's just the beauty of the guy, man.
Yeah,
like he knows that he's putting on it's entertainment combined with his.
I just think like whenever he starts talking about like psychic vampires and shit, he has to know that he's pulling shit out of his ass.
Interdimensional pedophile wizards. Yeah, like it's definitely a lot of it's just.
He has to know he's pulling shit out of his ass.
Yeah,
like. I don't know, but all right, I'm gonna hit you with this question. Last. Oh
wait, do I get to say my favorite podcast? That I listen
to? Come on,
real quickly. But so there's one that I want to shout out, which is kind of similar to your one that has the metal bands on. It's called Lead Singer Syndrome, and it has Shane Tell, I think, is the host. He's the lead singer, guitarist of Silverstein. If you're familiar with that band. So he's in a band that was pretty successful. He's a lead singer, and he interviews other lead singers of bands, mostly lead singers of bands. There's rare exceptions. But so like if you're into, rock music, indie rock music, pop punk, metal music, he has a wide variety of rock band singers that he has on his podcast where they just shoot the shit about their life on tours and their favorite albums, stuff like that.
Badass.
I like the Tom Segura. He has a podcast.
Oh, yes, that Your Mom's House.
Yeah,
that's the other one that I watch a whole bunch, and I have watched a little bit of the Bear Cave or something.
With Bert Kreischer.
Yeah, and Tom Segura.
Yeah, that's like the holy trinity of Joe Rogan. Like that, his kind of tangential.
Yeah, because Joe Rogan has those Sober Octobers. And,
those guys are great. All on it, except for Ari Shaffir. I don't know if he has a podcast. I think he does have a podcast. And then lastly, I'll mention. I lost it. Oh well, maybe it'll come to me later. Okay, so what's your question? You get a question, I get a question.
This is coming from, and I'm gonna try and make this short and sweet. It might be something that we don't know how to answer because for me,
I hope we know how to answer. For
me, being really into music production and sound recording and stuff, this one kind of stumped me. It was really interesting. The question is, how can I hear a song in my head when it is not even playing? How can I hear something that doesn't have sound? No decibels. There's no amp to it. There's no, you can't, you get a song stuck in your head and you fucking hear it. How are you hearing that? You're hearing street sirens and all kinds of other shit outside, but you're hearing in your head. Fucking
So
noise.
when you have a song playing through your head all day, you keep having the chorus play through it.
Your ears aren't doing any work there. They
No.
can't be.
It's
It
just
has to be
neurons
your
firing.
brain.
I think that here's what this is totally speculation, but this is going to be what I would guess. When a song really connects with you, I think that there's grooves in your brain, like wrinkles in your brain, where basically you could think of it as like on a record, like the grooves in a record.
Mm-hmm.
That happens in your brain. And if you want to, you can scratch that part of your brain, that record in your brain, and listen to it. Have you ever had in a dream where you hear a song vividly, like perfectly, every note, every word,
Yeah.
and you're like, and you wake up and you're like, whoa, I just listened to that Foo Fighters song or whatever when I was asleep.
Man, I haven't. Maybe I have.
You haven't had
but
that happen? It's rare for me, but it happens, and when it does,
maybe I have, and I
work?
just don't remember it. But I mean, even then, you have those dreams that do stick with you, where you're like, I had a fucking scary dream recently that scared the ever living shit out of me, and yeah, that shit sticks with you. And I'm not gonna sit here and explain that dream right now. I'll explain it on the fucking next episode,
or you can tell me after, because nobody's
I'll tell you
after.
Yeah. What's your question? Hit me.
Okay. Okay. So this is one that we talked about like a week or two ago that we almost had on the first podcast, but we didn't really go. We agreed not to talk much about it because we don't want to. We kind of want to have fresh takes whenever we actually talk about stuff. So the question is, what is a moment or experience you had with a girl in a non-sexual way where you felt the most alive, the most electrified? And this is a question I'm stealing.
Is this the one that we went off topic and we?
No, it's not that one.
Oh, okay. So, this is the moment you had you had a moment with the girl where you felt most alive and it wasn't sexual.
Right.
Yeah.
And it could be your girlfriend. It doesn't have to be like just a friend that's a girl. But it just has to be like it's not a sexual thing.
The thing when you say most alive, I don't feel most alive with boys or girls. The moments that I do feel most alive is whenever like I'm at a lake house and, like nobody's around and I'm just on my own or whatever,
So you're a hermit. You don't feel alive unless you're...
But are you saying that your most alive moments were with other people? Where you feel the most like...
I think for me,
just great? Really?
I think most of the time, yeah.
I think the moments that I've felt like great and I just was like, this is something I have to capture. Maybe sometimes it was with people.
Maybe like when you hit the 25 kill streak on Modern Warfare 2 and get the nuke kill streak.
Yeah.
That might be, I mean, that's a moment alone where you're going to feel that alive.
I mean, like whenever I'm...
Or just getting dogs on Black Ops.
Wakeboarding and it's just like I'm the only one behind that boat and I'm just like, fucking, Yeah. Hell yeah. It's a moment.
So answer the question, though.
I did.
No, you didn't.
I don't think I've had a moment with a person where I felt most alive.
Okay, I'm asking. There's a modifier. There's a qualifier. So I'm asking you, with a girl, when is the moment that you felt most alive?
So,
and it wasn't a sexual situation, which it shouldn't have ever been for you since you're not married.
There was a girl. So I did I was in 4-H and FFA growing up, all that shit. And there's this thing called 4-H exchange where you can go. We went up to Michigan.
Okay.
And then it was like a group of 4-Hers.
So Future Farmers of America, for those that don't know.
4-H. It wasn't FFA.
What's
FFA
4-H
is
again?
Stuff that you really find in high school and stuff. And then 4-H is just county based. It's just within the county.
Is it affiliated with schools?
No.
Oh, okay.
Well,
quasi, but not really. It's not like through your school. It's just like...
No, I think it's mainly just county based. But anyways, and there was an exchange program where, I go up to Michigan, and that's where I went, was to Michigan, and then the next summer or whatever, they came back to Texas. And when I went up to Michigan, I went to this island called Mackinac Island, and I just want to retire there. There's no cars on this island. Not one single. Everyone is riding bicycles. It's a small island, but like, it's just a beautiful sight to see. Like, it's right in one of those great
You take a
lakes
ferry
or
there?
whatever. Yeah, you take a ferry there, and then you just hop on there. They have like a fudge making thing there. It's awesome. It's the most beautiful place ever. And maybe, I mean, it's touristy for sure. I don't know that I really
that's not a
want
bad
to
thing.
retire there, but you know,
I hate when people say, "Oh, well, it's just really touristy there." Like, I
Yeah.
mean, sometimes that's a great thing.
yeah.
It
But
means there's a lot to do.
But there was a girl there that we went bike riding around the island, and it was nothing sexual, but we just were cracking jokes while riding a bike around the island. It was just a great, like, the view was just beautiful, you know, like everything was just so nice, and I don't know. Yeah, that might have been my one moment where it was just a great moment. And I'm sure maybe I've had plenty more, you know, that weren't sexual, that, you know, were just great moments with girls that I've been around or whatever, or even girls that I've dated. I'm not trying to say that any girl that I've dated, I didn't have a moment that was non-sexual that was great.
No, that's just what
probably
pops
have.
into your head, which is a good indicator that might have been. I mean, that's got to be in your top tier of
Yeah,
most
probably.
electrified. You felt.
Well, let's see. Shit, I don't. I can't. I mean,
can
I
just
could
have one
probably
answer.
think of them.
Here, let me give mine, and then if you think of something else,
You have a moment with like your wife?
yeah.
Are you talking about the UT?
So-
where you're at. Was it UT?
for what? Oh,
Or
you're
it was
talking
Texas
about
State. It was Texas State where
So-
you were at.
Yeah, so I mean, we've had a lot of amazing moments that had nothing to do, or it wasn't a sexual situation. I mean,
Yeah,
um,
that's probably why she's your wife, dude.
yeah. But I mean, the very first night that we ever hung out together, we were in a gymnasium, an empty gymnasium at Texas State. Hopefully, it's still recording. I think it
Yeah,
is.
hopefully it is. Fucking A, buddy.
Glad it didn't derp out.
Yeah.
Was it still recording?
Yeah, it's still going.
Okay.
It's still going.
So yeah, we were in an empty gymnasium. The lights were out, and we sat next to each other, which makes sense. We weren't across the gym from each other. I don't know why I had to say that. Speak of the devil.
Oh, your wife?
Speak of the angel.
Wow. What an angel. Just for the people that didn't notice, she walked out and she flicked Nate off, or Leroy off immediately.
No, I think she was pointing.
Yeah.
She was pointing at her heart.
Okay.
So
Jesus.
she's still in here. She's returning to her cave, the Mama Bear cave.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I don't even remember where I was at, but basically we talked for like 3 hours. That was the first night we got to know each other. Yeah, I mean, that was like the night that I knew I wanted to marry her. Is it still rolling or no?
Yeah, I just was zooming. I don't know. It has to be. Yeah, it's going. I just was
Yeah, you're so zoomed in.
I was trying to zoom out, but anyways,
But I wanted to say, so aside from like that sort of, the thing that makes me feel like just the most like energy that's not at all augmented or doesn't need to be augmented by any alcohol, drugs. Not that I use I'll drink a beer, but not using drugs. But I'm just looking at my past history. It's got to be like concerts with my favorite bands. Like you know, if they're playing your favorite song and then, you know, it just the whole crowd is vibing.
yeah,
and being
I've
with
had that moment.
being with
before.
those people, everybody like we all love that same song, and you feel this like sort of like there's a palpable tension, like a good tension in the air where you're just like bouncing off of like just molecules in a freaking cell bouncing off of each other, like one thing, you know what I mean?
You ever had that
And-
moment whenever the weight of the crowd just like almost falls, and you kind of fall, just being so close
Yes.
to everybody, and you're like,
Yeah, like you're moving like one
it's fucking
organism.
awful.
But no,
Well, I
okay.
mean,
Are you
like-
saying it in a bad way?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
I love that.
It's a bad way.
I love when there's like a wave, like a wave of.
and you just get pushed up into the next person.
I like that.
Fucking A.
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, all right. I think that should cut this. I think we should.
Was that
you
my
know.
question? Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
there was one more
yeah.
thing I wanted to say, and we might be so late in the hopefully we still keep a few of you around. The people that we keep around are probably the best people for this. I want to plead with our listeners. Leave a comment. Talk some shit. Disagree with us in the comments.
Yeah, please.
If you want to say something
Hilarious.
nice, keep it to yourself.
So only comment rude shit. We only want the most disrespectful people that hate what they hear to put some absolute utter garbage in the comments.
Yeah, and if you think we're going to take the high road,
we just want to get insulted.
no, we
essentially.
want to get down and dirty with the comments. So, or at least I do. I don't care about keeping like our like. I don't care.
I don't know.
I don't care about like a mutual respect between our listeners and us.
Wow. All right. Well,
No, I
that's
think
what you said.
They're
It.
terrible people.
The listeners are.
Yeah, whoever's listening to this crap.
All right. I don't think so. I think y'all are great.
No,
I
if
think,
you're not watching the video, I'm shaking my head. Actually, I don't think we have an audio file up of this podcast yet. So you're watching the video, but I am shaking my head. No, I appreciate that anybody's listening to this at all.
Yeah.
It's
thank
fun.
you.
It's really fun. Devin may have. Can we advertise here in the future for you?
Yeah, I'm gonna end up boosting. What do you mean advertise?
No, for potential you hosting people that want to have podcasts. Do you want to talk about that yet or no? Once you get the house.
like
Because you're going to have a studio set up, right?
I have a studio.
No.
What are you saying?
I'm saying once you move into your new place,
Oh.
weren't you going to maybe be opening it up for people that want to?
Yeah, absolutely.
And you engineer the podcast for them.
Yeah. Well, it could be at my place, or I probably prefer if somebody has, wants to spend the money and start doing podcasts and stuff. I'll go over there and I will help set it up and and edit the video afterwards and get all the audio right.
At your
and
new
everything.
place, though, you will be able to shoot it there if you need to, right?
If I need to, but I think mainly at my place, if you have
At your
if
new
you're
place.
if you're a musician and you have a band, if you're in a band with people and you're hearing this and you want to get recorded, I will do your audio editing. I will record you and get it all. I'll be your producer, whatever. I'll get it going.
And you'll produce a podcast too.
Yeah, Devin Krieger. Just message the podcast and just ask if you want to if you want to do that. And I'm not gonna be ridiculous on prices or anything. I think I'll be fair. The usual. I'll go by song. I go by song. This much for this song. And then you come over, record it, and bada boom, bada bing. We get it out. Let's do it.
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
down.
Devin's a really sweetheart of a guy. So if you just talk to him in the right way, I think you can. So the intro of probably this and all the rest of the episodes, that little song that you hear, I wrote that for the intro. Yeah, in
of
about
this.
5 minutes, right?
Yeah, it took stupid. Like it was literally like a 3-minute little writing section that I did, and it was easy. It was easy. It was
But
nothing.
take this podcast. If you're interested, are we too early on talking to advertising you engineering somebody's podcast?
Well, we can bring it up again if you want, but
I'm trying to help you. I'm not making any money off that.
Thank you. Yeah,
But I think he'll be great. And you can take this as kind of a sample. I mean, he can. We literally just threw up this setup in about 10 minutes at my
it was
apartment.
nothing. Yeah.
And he knows what he's doing. So
Well, thank you.
yeah.
Yeah, if you have any questions, just message we upload this on Facebook on a Facebook page. Just message the page and then let us know. Let me know, or if it's Nate that responds, or fuck, if it's
I'll forward
Leroy.
if there's any. You son of a bitch.
I'll put a bleep there. Sorry.
All right.
But if it's Leroy or
I'll make sure if it somehow was me
anybody else.
that responded, I'll make sure Dev gets it. So
yeah, that works. Well, that is the end of episode 1.5.
and these guys I just want to speak for them as well. Abraham Lincoln.
Jesus Christ. No. All right, we're done with this.
Okay.
All righty. Thank you guys and enjoy.